everything was done right. I mean, and you gotta feel proud of that because even though you weren't there, you the practices went into place, right?
Correct. And for me, it's having that duality of my original background is in athletic training. So the perspective that I bring to our athletic department does have a health and safety and wellness component in addition to the GHSA compliance piece as an athletic administrator. But just that in general, they know that that is important. So the expectation of our certified athletic trainers are the ones that conduct our CPR training for our coaches. So again, you have not a regular healthcare provider or a person that just provides that service in the community. Our athletic trainers, who are going to be the other individuals that are going to be critical in responding to that, can teach our coaches about some specific sport related emergencies that they can experience. Because again, our athletic trainers aren't always available. And in this case, specifically, was not available, yet our coaches still had the know-how and the training that was necessary for him to execute our EAP and have that positive outcome like we had. When you have an athletic program, that if you say that you cannot afford an AED and you cannot afford an athletic trainer in your athletic programs, and you can't afford athletics, those two entities there are really the positive outcomes that we want, whether it's a head related injury, a spinal cord injury, a cardiac emergency. Those two entities in themselves are going to have a more positive survival rate with having them than not. And being a CPR instructor, anytime that there is a coach that is in an emergency situation, Coach King said it best, that initially he presented as if he was having a seizure. For any coach that experiences a situation where you witness a kid go down and they are having what looks like they're exhibiting seizure-like activity, think cardiac arrest until it's determined that it's not. Because seizure-like activity in this population, if they don't already have an underlying cause or have not been sick, most of the time it's going to be a cardiac emergency, and the reason why they're displaying those seizure-like symptoms. Think cardiac until proven different.
Was this an example of cardiac or was this a seizure? What exactly was it?
This was an example of how it presents. So
Okay.
when you do those trainings and you look at the videos, it's actors. You can't replicate that
Right.
emergency situation. And so in some trainings, you think that it's going to look like the video, but it's not.
Mhm.
And so again, depending on who is actually doing the CPR training for the coaches, if they don't have that extra knowledge to tell the coaches what to look like that is outside of the norm,
Right.
that response could be delayed. They could
Okay.
still be thinking that it's a seizure, so we're going to wait because you've been told if someone is having a seizure, don't touch them, don't put anything in their mouth, but think cardiac until proven differently. And in Coach
Okay.
King's case, again, like he said, he originally thought seizure, but immediately after realizing that one, he wasn't breathing, he activated that EAP and immediately began CPR.